Hey guys, how are y'all doing? Hopefully you can hear me okay. The phone is a little bit farther away from you than it normally is. We're gonna be doing a message. I got stoned before I did the message, so sometimes that helps me see the images differently. I got out the Lemire. I got out some different decks that I don't use all the time. Let's take a look and see. We have Mercury coming out with Empathy, 27. We also have the Sun. I think we're having the Kazemi. Did we already have it, or it should be happening soon? That's when the Sun and Mercury come together. I believe that's a Kazemi. Venus might be involved as well in a Kazemi, I'm not sure. I think that's what it's called. I could be wrong. Okay. Mercury's retrograde right now in Scorpio. Or Sagittarius or Scorpio. Sidereally, I know it's in Scorpio. I think it's in Sagittarius tropically. Let's take a look and see. Empathy. To be empathic is to be able to put yourself in another person's shoes and understand their feelings. Now, toxic empathy is to adopt another person's feelings and claim them to be your own. That's unhealthy empathy. That's enmeshment, which is not healthy. But we have empathy, which talks about being able to see from another person's perspective, to understand how they're feeling without necessarily being in their position. A lot of times when you're like a musician, it's really important. Sometimes like musicians can sing about things that are brutal, and they can sing about things that are tough and not adopt it as their own reality, right? Sometimes I have empathy, sometimes I don't. Sometimes my empathy, I can't always be empathic. Intuition and empathy are two different things. That's like when you see someone, and the best thing I can think of is like you see someone and, you know, there's people sometimes that ask you for money, right? That might ask you for money. But then there's other times you'll see someone and they might just really need money, and they might not say anything about it, but you can tell that they really need it. $1 or $5 or something like that. And we all go through times like that. And I feel like those are the people, that's having empathy, is like if you were to give someone $1 without them asking for it. So somebody could be receiving money from someone, but I don't feel like it's somebody that I don't feel like you're going to ask. It's just going to happen, right? Somebody's going to give you money, or they're going to give you something because they know that you need it. Not because you ask them for it, but they're just going to see it on your face. Oh, she needs something. I have that thing that she needs. Let me give it to her. Or him. Or them. Or they. Just because it's the right thing to do. Just because somebody has that ability to be empathic. It'll be more than likely when Mercury goes direct, or when Mercury, it could be, I feel like it's going to happen when Mercury goes direct. The Two of Wands just popped out. But a lot of times with handouts, or when you're given something, now it could be something to just get you out of a hole. Something to get you back on track, or to get you something, but in the long run, you have to figure out how to not put yourself in that situation again, right? It's going to be a one-time thing, that it'll be a miracle. It could even be a complete stranger. You might not even know who they are. They're just going to help you with something. Now, is this person going to teach you how to fish? No, I don't believe so. I don't believe so. I think we pulled both of these cards out before in the last reading. It's the Let Me Please You card. I know we pulled that one out for the first house, or Aries, when we did the moon message, if you watched that in the last one. We also have unbridled passion. The situation is ruled by an intense, fiery emotion. You can choose whether to give into it or turn your back. If you do give into it, be careful not to let yourself be consumed by the flames of unchecked passion. And there might be something you need to check, right? Unchecked, maybe there's something you need to look at. Something you need to... We have the will of God. This person that helps you, this person that, like this God sent or this miracle person, will be in their godly form when you meet them, right? They'll be in that invocable energy of God, right? We think of God as like, if Satan is the adversary, is the person that goes against what you say, right? Satan is the adversary. The devil is the adversary. It's the person that will go against you. Well, God is the opposite of that. God is benevolent. God is yes, Yeshua. God is Jupiter. Satan is Saturn, is no. Well, both are important and necessary to live a balanced and function. Don't let the anger consume you. Volvo, I am the light of the world. Wolf in sheep's clothing. How about that? Vernal equinox and the Lord's greatest love. Also, ready to serve is the last one in this key. I didn't write key on it, but this is a key. Shut up or music goes up. I had to write that one on the front. Shut up. That's so funny, dude. Damn. So that happens. Shut up or the music goes up. So you'd be in a situation where like somebody is not wanting to speak. They only want to hear the music. They don't want to hear what you have to say. Now the music could be speaking to them. A lot of times music will do that for me, right? Like I stopped watching so much. Be patient. It's telling you to be patient. Please. Be patient. Be patient. It's asking you to be patient. We have handcuffs and lace. Whether you're submissive or the dominant type, you'll feel more powerful in the right outfit. Wear something that reflects who you are and what you desire. You'll surely attract whom or whatever you're looking for. So maybe you're going to be the one that goes into this empathic mode where you're just going to see what someone needs. And it's going to be a two-way street where you're going to be able to get what you need and you're going to be able to give what someone else needs. It's going to be like a win-win situation. My world started crumbling down since you left. My world has started crumbling down since you left. So if you recently separated from someone, their world is in the process of crumbling down. It hasn't fallen all the way down yet, but somebody could be wanting to let you know that life hasn't been as good since you haven't been around. So someone is having a desire, they're feeling very attracted to your energy. Or they're missing, do you still think about me? Do you still want me? Do you still love me? I need to know if I should move on. I'm hurting. So somebody hasn't had closure in a relationship or in a situation. Someone needs closure. Someone wants to know do you still think about them? What do you think about when you think of them? Do you still love them? And if so, in what way? You are the best thing that has ever happened to me. And North Star. You're facing the future with excitement as you follow your dreams and embrace your passions in life. You are directed to your life purpose. So this person or this situation, I feel like it's going to be almost like a miracle, or it's going to be a divinely timed thing. So you have to be patient, right? You have to be patient. What are you doing? The dog's tapping me with her paws. She's having a dream. What are you dreaming about? She says, I'm dreaming of squirrels. Really? Really? She said, I was trying to tap you because I was telling you there was a squirrel. And I had to go get it. I just got a notification on my phone from a game that said my lives are full. So your cups are full, right? Your cups are being filled at this time, right? We have Archangel Raphael, some like video, green Archangel Raphael. This video, you can see the picture of him. Oh, I mean, it doesn't matter, but it's this guy. He's down here playing his little music. It's not little music, it's probably big music, but it's green. So it's a green light, right? It means go ahead and go for it, right? Go for it. Don't be afraid, right? It's not a yellow light. I actually have yellow right in front of me on these doors. My room is blue and yellow, or it was. Right now I'm working on painting the wall skin color over the blue. And then I'm going to paint over the skin color white, because I'm putting all of the energy that the blue, right, was like me working through my throat chakra. It was a huge blockage. Obviously, I mean, you saw the color of the blue. It was fucking intense as hell. And I think that's because I've always kind of been hermetically sealed. I've got a Saturn-Mercury exact opposition, as I was talking about before, squaring the moon and squaring Neptune, and Neptune and the moon are opposing each other. So I think that was just like there was a point in time when I was a kid and I went completely mute. Like I just could have maybe been when Saturn was in Scorpio, conjunct my Mercury at 1 degrees. And that's my tropical degrees, by the way. But it could have been that time. I'm not really sure. I think I was like 11, 10, 12, something like that. And I just stopped talking. I just didn't, I didn't have the courage, or I just couldn't talk anymore. And I think that was when a lot of like my parents' red flags started coming up, and realized like there's something like wrong, or there's something going on with her, right? That was like the beginning of it. That was the beginning of the death spirit. And by the time I was 14, like the death spirit had gotten so strong. Like I felt like it was coming for me. I could just feel it. It's really interesting because my stepdad, Chuck, his name in Gematria is 666, which is like the name of the beast, Chuck Marduk. And I think he kind of sacrificed himself for me a little bit. Like on a spiritual level. Which is interesting because biblically they would write about like the great beast being 666. Well, Jesus was all about forgiveness, right? Give me 4. His name was Yeshua, but he's saying give me 4. Call me Jesus, right? That's 444 in Gematria. So if you're calling Jesus by the name of Yeshua, you're not giving him what he asked you for, which was your forgiveness. To give him stability. I know that because my name is Madelyn, which is Joseph bar Jesus bar Madelyn. I'm talking about like in the movie The Young Messiah, when they're asking the young Messiah about they ask him these questions about Eden and about the Philistines, and in that movie he tells the rabbi all of the answers, and when he speaks to him he calls him Jesus bar Joseph, because Joseph is the same gematria as Jesus, but he's putting a bar in between them like a fraction. Like you would with numbers, right? You put 444 over 444 equals 1. Meaning it's all equal to the same thing. Or a ratio, if you want to call it that. Hey, Wendy. What are you doing? Sleeping? Yep. Love you. The 4 is deep, right? The 4 is Hesed, is Jupiter. That's where the demiurge is at, according to Aleister Crowley. The demiurge is the creator god. Is Hesed, is blue. Is before the abyss. Is before Saturn. The abyss being the throat center, though. But Jupiter will the thing about Jupiter is expansion. So Jupiter can keep you running and running and running and running and chasing and aiming for your target, or keep you constantly moving, right? And I think that's something that Jupiter will do if you accumulate too much body fat, is if there's something that you want badly enough that you're willing to get off your ass and run for it, he'll keep you running till that body fat is gone. Or he'll teach you how to turn those reserves, because that's what body fat is. Jupiter rules body fat. He'll teach you how to convert those reserves into liquidation, into finances, into bank accounts. Now that is when you start working with Saturn as well. You have to work with Saturn. You also have to be able to work well with Malkuth. I would say that when you get to that point with Jupiter, you have definitely traversed the abyss many times. I would say I've got that as a birthmark. Like I was born of the abyss. I am the abyss. And Jesus said that nobody gets through the Father except through me. But I don't want to say that because that's toxic. But there's certain pathways to get to it. The Father, the Mother, the source. We can all get to it, but there's different avenues. And there's different places to connect to that source that will give you different results and different messages and different things that you need. Ways that I don't even know of, right? Ways that masters know of that I don't know of. I only know the ways that I was born with through my natal chart and human design. And I don't believe that the source comes to you through the top of your head. I believe it enters through your throat. And if you're able to take that solar energy through the throat, a lot of times when I connect to like the source of all, my neck will go back, and it will be like you can think of like in a movie when someone like puts their arms back and like their chest is like beaming up, right? Some people connect there. I connect through the throat center. See? My throat, my birthmark. That was the very first thing that my mom noticed on me when I came out of the womb. She says, bitch, this is boring. Nobody gives a fuck. Okay. Well, I give a fuck. But a lot of times when like I can feel a really strong solar energy coming through me, or if I can feel that source really connecting to me, my head will go back and I will feel it entering through my throat. There'll be times where there's people or energies like Jeremiah at Universal Mastery. I had to stop doing the ritual because the last one I did, it hurt my throat so badly because he was moving all of those people through that ritual, through the throat center, and my Duat center is so prominent, right? It's marked on my body that's a lot of where my power lies, right? Is with Karanzan. Don't knock it over. Go ahead. Your bed's not in here right now. Bye. Where are you going? Where are you going? It's not over there. She said, I'm going over there anyway. You want me to put it in here? Love you. She said, I'm leaving. If the paint's wet in the corner, you're going to get it on you. I don't care. So, I don't know where that came from, but there's even been times I've been on strip chat and like because my job, my career, right? I don't like, yes, I'm a webcam model, but I'm not the kind of webcam model that's just like on there strictly masturbating, which a lot of girls do, but I'm paid to be an actual legitimate, what they would call a scarlet woman. Meaning I take sexual energy. People pay me to take their sexual energy, their creative life force, and I use it and I create timelines for people. That's why at like the height of my career, I got pulled out to go through this awakening process because I wasn't ready. I didn't know how to do it at that point. Now I know, and now I'm ready, and I understand what I was meant to be doing and why I was put in the position that I was put in. Especially considering how unlikely it is of me to be like I'm not normally that type of person. I'm not like an escort. I'm not like a hoe. Like I wouldn't do that. I don't think I could do that. Right? It's something that I've trained lifetimes to do. We have the Ace of Cups. And the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups is friends, is nostalgia. It's Mercury in Cancer, which is Ashleisha. So we think that is a Naga placement. That's the decan that rules the Nagas. Opposing that though, because I feel like the nakshatras are inverted, it would be Shravana, I believe. Shravana or Dahishthana. Right, I think there's like it overlaps in that section, right? Because it's uneven. The nakshatras and the decans are uneven, which the tarot is based off of the decans. So we can say that each tarot card is pretty close. Sometimes it overlaps with the nakshatra or with another tarot card. But the Three of Cups is Ashleisha, which is opposing that, I believe, is Shravana and the beginning of Dahishthana. Dahishthana being the height of Mars. The height of Mars, the final placement of Mars, and it's also the moon, the lunar energy, the completely receptive ear, right? And the Three of Cups is being receptive. It's a friendly conversation, and when you have conversations with friends, a huge part of the conversation is not this person speaking, but it's the person that's connecting to the speech, right? That's a majority of the conversation. I hate talking to people that I just don't give a fuck what they're saying. And it's just going in one ear and out the other. But a huge, ginormous part of that, even a more important part besides the person speaking, but it's the friends around that person speaking that are receptive to the words. That's part of being a friend, right? It's kind of giving me like in the Rider-Waite-Smith, it's giving me like there's the three friends, but then the Four of Cups, because we have four cups out here. It's like that person sitting by the tree, right? The Buddha sitting by the tree, which the Four of Cups is Moon in Cancer, so that would be equivalent to the first half, the first half of Shravana and Dahishthana. I'm sorry, opposing that would be the first half of Dahishthana and Abhijit. Or is that right? No, it would be all Pushya would be the first half of Shravana, and then, it would be Abhijit Nakshatra, which is Pushya, which is the deity for that Nakshatra. And this is 4 degrees of Cancer, and then 13 more would be 16 degrees of Cancer. I think it's something like that, maybe 21 or something. I think it's 16, 19, 18, something like that. And that is, it's ruled by Saturn, but the deity there is Bruhaspati, which is Jupiter. Jupiter, I don't believe, resides there. I believe Jupiter is in Purva Bhadrapada but they say it's Shiva. I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. There's a lot of things that are jumbled up and misconstrued in my personal opinion when dealing with the nakshatras intuitively. But Bruhaspati is there. I believe Torah is the energy that's there, which is Bruhaspati's wife, or Jupiter's wife, which would be like Juno in tropical astrology. And Torah, Torah is an interesting, there's another, I actually channeled I got a teaching from her about the planets and the way that they get along with other planets. With the nakshatras. I don't have the paper, so it's not important, but the myth with Tara is that, I believe it was it Soma, the name of the moon god? She left him for a brief period, and Brihaspati had to go and get her from Chandra. I don't know, something like that. You can look that up if you want to. It's Pushya Nakshatra. Pushya Nakshatra, they're the sweetest people. They will give and give. They'll give you the shirt off their back, right? If they need to, right? That's the thing about Pushya. It's where the Buddha sits, right? The Buddha under the tree. And oh yeah, and then Torah had a child, but it wasn't Bruhaspati's child. It was Soma's child. It was a child of the moon god. And that's how the Buddha was born. That's what the rest of the myth was. So that person sitting under the tree, we think of the myth of Buddha when he's sitting underneath the tree. The bonsai, it's not a bonsai tree. What kind of tree is it? I don't know. I don't know so much about that. But Buddha is like Jesus, right? So there's a strong connection there. And Pushya, it rules the cow udder, which is the nutrients, which is the life force from the mother. It's the tit. It's the celestial mother, right? The nutrients of the celestial mother, connecting back to the Duat center of the celestial mother, I guess, in this case. For me, it's father, right? I think of the father. I still consider it to be the father. But maybe it is the mother. Who knows? My mom's all Capricorn. So I don't know. Maybe my grandmother. She's a Cancer. But it's not a physical body type of thing. It's a celestial energy. It still shows up as very masculine to me. I don't have my moon in Pushya. I do in my D9 chart. No, I have my Venus in Pushya in my D9 chart. So does King Louis XIV. And I have my moon in Ashlesha. So does King Louis XIV. And my sun in my D9 chart is in Purva Falguni. And King Louis XIV is in Uttara Falguni, which is right next to it. Mine's more than likely the sun in Purva Falguni because I'm a woman, not a man. And the Sun King is it's the energy that bridges Virgo and Leo. Very auspicious nakshatra, especially in regards to kingship and rulers. More so like the living rulers. While the grave or the birthplace or the source of the creators is at the beginning of Magha, right? It's more of a passed on, like dead energy, right? The ability to channel from the forefathers. While Uttara Falguni is more so about living kings, living rulership, things that are more connected to the earth. Because it's not just the fire, but it's the fire bridging to the earth, right? Watch the world burn energy. What would that feel like? To be a vessel without a soul, or having your soul be in another vessel. I think that's kind of what it's like when you have children, right? Like, that child gets a part of your soul. That's why I couldn't imagine being like a parent and being separated from your child. Not being able to raise your child. That's just having a part of your soul out in the world floating and not being able to be there to take care of it. Or to have a child, have that part of your soul be taken from you. Murdered, killed, kidnapped, something like that. It would just be horrific, right? It would literally feel like a piece of you that you couldn't be with. To think that you couldn't protect a part of your own soul is crazy to me. How long is this? We're at 31:13. So there's a mirroring energy. Or to have a split soul, right? To have a split soul. To see your soul in another human being outside of your bloodline, like, that's crazy. To see it in someone else, it's rather interesting. Because there's different, like, pods, right? There's different energies. There's different sections where soul fragments go. And it's not just one big messy pot, right? God is organized. God has a great organization system. He has the hands of your head numbered, right? He knows exactly who you are by your signature of your soul. We have Jupiter in Capricorn with the Two of Pentacles. That's a Jupiter-Mercury opposition. We're having that happen right now. In tropical astrology, there's like a mutual reception between Jupiter retrograde in Gemini and Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius. So it's a rather interesting Mercury retrograde, because there's like, when you have a sign that is, a planet that is in the sun, both planets are in each other's like home sign, it's almost like there's like a contract, or there's something that, where it will feel like being in its own sign, right? They like switch places. It's called mutual reception. I have mutual reception with my Mercury and my Mars in my tropical chart. And in my Vedic chart, I have mutual reception between my Mercury and my Venus. That would put my Mercury in Hasta and my Venus in Swati. It would put Mercury conjunct Rahu in Leo. Well, no, because my Mars is technically in Virgo, but my Rahu is at 29 degrees of Leo. So technically it wouldn't be. No, it would be. That's the only way it would be. Because Mars is at 3 degrees of Virgo and Mercury is at 1 degree of Scorpio. So it would create a mutual reception. Which can make the cardinal cross a little bit easier to handle, because cardinal, or just crosses in general, grand crosses in general, are so difficult. The energy is so complicated, and you constantly feel pulled in different directions. So it makes it a little bit easier. It makes it easier for me to speak sometimes when I'm able to switch the Mars with the Mercury. But when I put whatever I put next to my Rahu, right there with Rahu, it gets, it can get intense. So when there's Mars there, I can get really angry, or I can get really sexual. I can exercise and my energy is out of control, right? It can almost become a little bit vampiric. I can become very energetically vampiric. And I also have a Mars with the mutual receptor. I have Mercury conjunct Lilith in Scorpio. I have a Lilith, Mercury, Sun, Venus, Juno. If there wasn't the break in the sign, it would be all like right there together, like combust. They're all close enough to consider to be combust, but Mercury and Lilith, my mean Lilith, not even my true Lilith. My true Lilith is combust completely right on top of Venus. The Venus-Lilith conjunction goes crazy. It goes crazy. So that one goes crazy. With Juno, combust the sun. So it's like, how many is that? 1? Oh, that's the 10 of Pentacles. The 10 of Pentacles. It's like, damn, you're only talking about yourself right now. Yeah. I do that sometimes. I'm fascinating. I think I'm fascinating. My birth chart is insane. Seven of Wands. Mars and Leo. The 4 of Pentacles. Sun in Capricorn. We have Jupiter and we have Sun in Capricorn. Capricorn is like the MC, right? Capricorn, but also Jupiter there. It really expands the sense of self. But Capricorn can be seen as like the stage. You're willing to share your experiences of who you are, so people can grow and learn off of the things you've learned about yourself. The Ace of Wands. The Tiger. I also have Chiron in Scorpio. At the accursed degree, the 19th degree of Scorpio. That's fucking brutal. We don't need to talk about that. Bitch, I cry like when I'm having sex, like I almost cry every single time afterwards. Is that weird? It's not. It's not like a sad cry. It's just like, whoa, we don't need to talk about this. I think I'm gonna go now. That was a good way to end it, right? 39 minutes. That's a long fucking video. If you're still watching that to know that I cry after I have an orgasm, great. Glad you know that. Perfect. I am gonna go now. I think it's just because like Scorpio is such deep emotions, and like Chiron is like the key, right? So it's on the Scorpion's heart, right? The heart of the Scorpion. So to have the key to the heart of the Scorpion, right? Nobody gets in that motherfucker. That's having a key to the bottom of the ocean. Because that's what Scorpio is. It's like the bottom of the ocean. You don't get down there. It's dark down there. It's scary down there. It's scary down there. I have to go. Goodbye.